welcome my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi. Hi, my Sagittarians. I love you so much, my subscribers, my new friends I've made along the way, and some old friends along the way that have reconnected as a result. My Sagittarians, I've always had a Sag in my life, one way or the other. Glad to have an Archer along the path. My subscribers, thank you so much for your love, your support. I'm making my YouTube journey, walking the path, as it were. Your likes, subscribes, comments, sharing my shit with people, very, very, very helpful. I really appreciate you put the social in social media. My next goal really should be, I don't know, 2,000 subscribers or 5,000 subscribers. I'm shooting for 30 so that I can do the extended reads here in the membership thing. So, you know, you'd pay like, I don't know, something every month and you'd get access to all the extended readings here. But for now, I'm putting them all on Vimeo. There aren't any of those for this this particular read. This is a purely YouTube read, but just showing you what the target I have my eyes set on. Look, I even put it in archery terms for you. And if you're new to my channel and want to help me along with that, please do consider liking, subscribing, and all those YouTube-y things that help. Great, let's do this. We are looking at a 7 card draw for a specific amount of time, right? A full moon in Aries, which is actually today, the day that I am doing this. We are in that energy right now. I have a kitty cat bonking my feet. Come on up, booger, sit with mama. And you got the blessings of the Melchior upon you. Lay down, baby. He loves my leather jacket. He's a Taurus, why wouldn't he? That's Bruce, my leather jacket. Because I was raised by a nursery school teacher, I name things, or they tell me their names. So let's get down to this, right? We're looking at the waning moon from this full moon in Aries to new moon in Libra. And by the way, that is on a Friday the 16th. New moon in Libra on a Friday is a pretty big deal in terms of magical timing for love and romance, as well as other Libran things. But because it's the day of Venus and Libra is ruled by Venus, it's sort of a natural for planting a seed of love that would grow. And it's not just the unconditional love, it is 7th house, partnerships, the scales, right? So take the opportunity to let go of and wane and heal whatever you need this waning moon to, so that if that's something that you want her to bring balance in your life, however you want to see that. It seems like a very, very powerful thing considering what's going on planet Earth. So yeah, we're looking at the 1st of October today, when I'm doing it. Whenever it is you're doing it, would be watching this would be in the past. To that Friday the 16th, like I said, we're doing 7 cards, 1 card from 7 different decks. We're doing 3 healing systems, 2 tarot decks, and 2 oracle decks to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace you need for this full moon to new moon next. It's general. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because the information for your sun sign is probably going to play itself out differently than your moon sign, considering they're opposites, and then your rising in Venus, should you care to, right? I think that's about it. All the decks that I read are in the description box at the bottom. Focus on your breath. Be here now. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can. Otherwise, let's have some fun with this. Breathe. My collective pantheons, I felt that. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need 1 card in clarity from the Carolyn Mace archetype deck to represent the soul power or aspect of soul contract that is being alchemized, can be alchemized, I should say, from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy, within the Scorpio collective, around the Scorpio collective, somebody that the Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign is dealing with. All of that in a side of fries. What is that soul power being alchemized that they need? What do I need to know, read? What do I need to alchemize from lead to gold? This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. The networker. Creative family archetype. Now, networking right now, social networking and all of that, this card The networker has always existed in in terms of the messenger archetype. Come on, every pantheon has a messenger god in one way, shape, or form, right? So this is an ancient thing, but very updated. Like networking, it's such a 90s word. Networking, going to a networking meeting. Oh, how much coffee do you have to drink in one lifetime? So more, please. I love coffee, obviously. But this is a very, very powerful archetype nowadays, particularly, and I'm going to have to dance around some subjects here. You know why, right? I'm an apolitical channel. But I think where we are on planet Earth right now, let me read you the shadow and the light here, because this might not be something your soul power, but one that you are dealing with that is making you grow and let go for a waning moon, right? Shadow attributes: conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. The light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Narcissistic, empathic. Narcissistic, empathic. I'm just going to leave that on the table right over there and refer to it as needed. But look, that is a soul power, whether it's yours for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You know if you're a networker or not, right? Or if you are dealing with a networker in the light, in the shadow, but most of us are somewhere in between, right? So that's the process of alchemy from lead to gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold. So think of that as the waning moon process of burning off, transforming, letting go of those 3 atoms, because technically can't be created or destroyed, only changed, right? So let go of, to alchemize something toxic lead into something healing gold. Thankfully, that's our first of 2, that's our first of 3 healing systems. We are going to use the next healing system, the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. Oh, I can feel that. Ooh, my solar plexus just went, wah, wah. Okay. What is the perfect healing mantra to help you deal with or heal that networker archetype within yourself, within another, or within, you know, society in general right now? It can be all of that. Like I said, all of that on a side of fries. Breathe. Yeah, asking the Ascended Masters, please. I got this very much walking a tightrope feeling in my tummy, right? That thing of watch it, careful, careful, like even down to the minute detail feels tricky, a balancing act. Please, one card in clarity. For this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, my Ascended Masters, please, what is the healing mantra they most need this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020, and dealing with that networker archetype, growing beyond guilt? It couldn't have happened any other way. Who else got this? I don't always write down. Oh, growing beyond guilt. That was the Libra. So if you have any Libra stuff going on, or if you're dealing with the Libra, you might want to check that out. I haven't been writing these down for all of them. When I write down the titles, I kind of have to pick and choose. Only so many letters you can have in the title. And I'm going to read it from the book, but just know this has been a huge healer for me. Couldn't have happened any other way. Once you kind of get the quantum divine plan part of it, not that we see what's going to happen all the time, but what do you think readings are? They're energy readings of the quantum field, right? Here are the probabilities, right? Why are we using apparently random systems within a holographic paradigm, right? To kind of see, well, what are the probabilities that are in my energy field? It's a great way to say it, right? What's the holographic archetypal temperature, so to speak, right? Like an energy reading. So growing beyond guilt, it couldn't have happened any other way. It is necessary, right? That there's something necessary that you might be holding on to in guilt, yourself in guilt, someone else in guilt, society in guilt, right? So to grow beyond that, it's a tricky thing, but I gotta tell you, maybe that's that knot in my stomach I felt. Like that, something happened that made you kind of want to retch or throw up. Now, oh, is that easy to tap into on a collective level on planet Earth right now? But I'm not going there on my channel. It couldn't have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in a perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe. Now, I've been working this mantra for a while, months now. Not every day. comes and goes like the other mantras do. But that heart, right? A heartfelt acceptance that it couldn't have been any other way comes in time. You don't say the mantra and poof, you see it all. It comes gradually. It is a growth. And think of now growing beyond guilt. Instead of growing beyond guilt, that word growing is definitely a waxing. This is a waning moon. Like letting go of that guilt, little by little, piece by piece, day by day with this mantra. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be. Since everything is destined to change, hello, and can only change you for the better, you would say is debatable, but from the soul's point of view, that's absolutely the truth, not just true. Growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds, right? Hindsight, 2020, couldn't happen any other way. In order for me to be who I was born to become in this life, my life couldn't have happened any other way. And that's just it. Okay, let's say infinite number of quantum probabilities stemming from every second. I mean, you either drink the coffee or you don't. I don't know how that becomes infinite, but whatever, right? Math, right? You only experience the ones that are perfect for your soul's evolution, not the comfort or your personality or the satiation of the ego. Sorry, I didn't write that rule. I know. Sagittarius are like, what? All this hunting? Yeah, no, it's all scripted. It's all part of the divine plan, but like a video game with a near infinite amount of possibilities to choose from, which we choose only what's in front of us. Can't choose them all at once, right? This mantra is ideal for releasing the past, unhooking from karmic patterns, and forgiving yourself. Speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. So what we're going to do is we are going to now we have one more healing system to go. It'll come after these next two. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, Mythic Tarot, what you need to be aware of inside of yourself, what you need to be aware of outside of yourself. It's really that simple. I mean, you want to go yin-yang, inner dynamic, psychological world, personal world, literal world, however you want to see that, the inner and the outer. Let's ask the goddesses. Nice deep breath. My goddesses, the collective divine feminine, please. Half the universal energy of the divine feminine. All goddesses in all pantheons throughout time and space, please. One card in clarity. For this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, what do they need to be aware of inside of themselves, considering we've got the networker going on here, and it couldn't have happened any other way, and I felt that solar plexus feeling right there. Please, what is it that they most need to be aware of this full moon to new moon next? Earthquake on the inside. 5 of Pentacles. Shake up. You're feeling shook. You're feeling personally shook. When it's solar plexus, it's personal power. Second chakra might very well be in relationship to somebody else one-on-one. Root chakra, when you go like that, that's usually tribal, the whole world. This feels like a personal hit. Now, this might be something in the news that affects you personally, depending on how you identify and all of that stuff. But in terms of the divine unfoldment of the perfection of life, in other words, life happens to make us better. We don't see it until afterwards, and that's fine, right? That's the journey that we take, but the soul already knows that everything that's happening, whatever arises, love that. Everything is here to help you. The universe always has a plan. There, 3 Matt Kahn titles in a row from first to last, or at least his latest, right? So to get that you're feeling shook inside, no question. But physiologically, it is like that physical sensation too. Now, keep an eye on your network. What are you putting out there, as well as what are you taking in? You know, you can say if it really shakes you on that level, it's either a truth that has rocked an illusion within you, that has changed you, I would say, foundationally and very quickly. Earthquakes don't last very long. People think earthquakes last a long time. No, like a 10-second earthquake at a high Richter scale is really destructive, right? The shorter, the better in that sense. But either that or something really came in that's just not true and not resonating within you and is shaking you because it's not true. Now that's going to play itself out differently, but I'm telling you, this is the mantra. Couldn't have happened any other way. 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 Been there. And it actually helps. It gives you a little bit more breathing room for that emotions, for those, particularly the physiological part, to kind of release little by little with each breath. All right, that's the inner. The outer should be interesting because, I mean, let's also say, you can get the Five of Pentacles earthquake with something magnificent and wonderful. But with the cards that are on the table, I don't know. Let's see what you need to be aware of in the outside. Breathe. My beloved Zeus, I had his ring on the middle finger instead of the index finger, and he's an index finger kind of god. Zap. Please, my beloved gods, the other half of the universal energy, the divine masculine gods of all pantheons throughout time and space, please, one card in clarity. For the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. Yeah, my feet under the table. I'm on the balls of my feet. That doesn't happen every reading. It's like hard to stay grounded with this. Please, my gods, one card in clarity. What do they need? We've got the networker archetype within them, within the world, within them, somebody else in particular they're dealing with. I'm feeling that's a good chunk of them there. Kind of like, oh God, I can see what that is for so many people, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. But that growing beyond guilt, thinking this couldn't happen anywhere. This is all a setup. This is all part of a divine plan. Couldn't have happened any other way. Couldn't have happened any other way. While they're shaking out on the inside, my gods, please, what do they need to be aware of outside of themselves? This full moon to new moon. There's the Chariot. You got to take action. Gotta take action. You want to take action. It's the Chariot. Oh, this could not be more timely on planet Earth. You have to try and find a way to balance your motivation and your inspiration. Motivation comes from fear. That's the whip. Inspiration comes from carrot. Right? The love. That's the carrot calling you forward. Yes, inspiration comes from carrots there all this time. It was just the beta carotene. It's very second chakra inspiring because it's orange, whatever. But you get it, right? You have to like take your inspiration and your motivation and move them together because sometimes inspiration is not enough. Sometimes love just ain't enough. I love throwing in song quotes from the 80s. It's right, the 80s and the 90s, whatever. There's definitely Patty Smythe. There's definitely this thing of you've been shook on the inside, and if there is a social justicer inside of you, or with you, or around you, I get it. I feel it. But to do this without holding others or yourself in guilt, it's going to make this a lot easier on your nervous system, right? This couldn't happen any other way. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be upset and that you can't be angry and you can't be enraged, but understand how you express that. That is your free will. Right? Like, couldn't have happened any other way, but now what are you going to do? Right? If you see it as, again, that all this is part of a divine plan, I have been shook to my core. I am shooketh. Right? But I'm going to grab the reins. I want to grab the reins and move this fucker forward, right? It's the Cancerian card. So it is that emotional of, well, I feel this way, but I also feel this way. Finding that to move yourself forward. It's a very, again, I'm not shocked. These reads this time have been like spiritual counseling in a 7-card draw. We're going to move on. The Ascended Masters are going to give us one card from the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, the Suit of Problems. What is the problem here now? Whoa, there it is again. Let me do an interpretive dance about what just happened to my solar plexus. Take a nice deep breath. A nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters, please, I need one card in clarity. What's the problem that this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign is dealing with here? This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. Again, we've got the networker, growing beyond guilt. 5 of Pentacles, earthquake on the inside, the Chariot on the outside. Ooh, what is the problem here? Letting myself feel it. Doubt. Brr, something has shaken you to your foundation. And doubt feels like that. And it happened quickly. And so now you're being asked to make a decision. Make a decision. Move forward. Rally your forces emotionally. If you like, a little bit like the Temperance card, in that you have to balance your fire and your water. Like what it is that you want and what it is that you feel. But what you feel, maybe a little right? It's been shook. So look, it's normal to doubt. It is normal to doubt. It is necessary. Let's up it a notch. It's healthy to doubt. This is why I live by the grace of humility, what I call the maiden grace of humility. Goddess, maiden goddess, please grant me the grace of humility to know that I do not know, but I am willing to be shown, because I would add to it, because I am in doubt, and it's okay to be in doubt, because there's always a higher truth. So would it be. Oh, that was genius. Somebody write that down. Really good. Right? It's okay to have doubt. But is it healthy to charge forth in doubt? Tricky, because so much is in doubt right now. I mean, look, and again, if you're an empath, I feel like every reading I should do, I should say, by the way, if you consider yourself a first wave divine empath, feeling everybody's everything, you are not just feeling your own doubt. That may be 2 to 5% of the equation here. The rest of the percentage, the 95 to 98%, is humanity experiencing doubt. I don't think the trees are doubting. Right? I don't know that the butterflies and the bees, my cats don't doubt anything, apparently. So, you're probably feeling the people around you as well as humanity in general. If you have that empathic thing working for you there, definitely check your moon sign if this is not your moon sign. Because I can feel that. The world has been shook. Thou art shooketh. That is our third healing system card, by the way. So let's get these last two on the table, and I think they're going to be very helpful as oracle cards. The Whispers of Love Oracle, the Blue Angel Publishing. I love that company so much. Let's see what the voices of the higher selves have to say, fifth dimensional and above. Breathe. Well, you are Sagittarians, are you? Well, at least your higher selves have no zodiac, gender, or race, or age. It's your higher selves. So let me ask them, please, the higher selves of all involved here. One card in clarity. What is a whisper of love that can help this Sagittarian collective? What is the piece of information, inspiration, or insight that this Sagittarian needs this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020, or timeless? The networker, growing beyond guilt, shook on the inside, trying to channel their energy forward emotionally on the outside, but has their doubts. What is the whisper of love? Look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Now look, that doesn't mean necessarily you're wrong, even though there's a growing beyond guilt card here. This might be like, I need to put up a boundary. I need to step back. I need to really fact check on my own what I do before I pass it on, if you're that networker. Or I need to take through a filter this person's emotional field if I'm an empath and I'm dealing with a networker, right? Somebody with fury in their eyes, even if they have accurate information, is not going to deliver it in a way that is easily receivable or digestible to the human energy system as anything other than being shook, right? So they just flashed me the Dalai Lama's face. Truth without compassion is brutality. The lip pop is mine, not his. That's there you have it. Look at your pattern in relationships. It takes courage to really look at what are the changes that I have to make. Now, again, if this is not a socio-political thing that you're dealing with, because that seems so dominant right now in me to an extent, but I'm I pray all day long. I'm in mystical practice all day long, pretty much, when I'm not Netflixing. This is a lesson for you. This is a lesson for you to look at what the patterns of guilt are. Some of us feel guilty because of who we are, and that's not real. That's written in. You can't be any other than what you are in any given moment. That's the divine plan and play. But are you willing to grow beyond guilt to say, this couldn't happen any other way? It couldn't have happened any other way. Me being this way, them being that way, it's all part of a larger divine plan. I may have my doubts about what happens next, but I can know for sure this couldn't have happened any other way, because at the end of the day, it's how it happened and you can't change it anyway. So then it couldn't have happened any other way. It's just a wise perspective to take. Doesn't mean you can't change things. Let's be clear. Just because it couldn't have happened any other way doesn't mean you're not supposed to change it. Ooh, that was our good lip pop, too. Let's take that as an omen. Last card down. Healing with the Angels Oracle. Doreen Virtue. What is the healing angel? Because you need help on this. We all need help. And this one card in specific, this deck in this spread is very much about who you can call upon. Ghostbusters. Breathe. Oh, my angels, such peace you bring in one breath. My angels and archangels, please, one card in clarity. Ooh, we just went up very, very high, didn't we? Please, one card in clarity for the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. What is the angel they need to call on? The healing angels, plural perhaps, they need to call upon this full moon to new moon next, dealing with this networker within themselves or another. It is an archetype. It can show up in all different ways at once, like a hall of mirrors, right? Growing beyond guilt. Couldn't have happened any other way, though they have their doubts about that because they've been shook on the inside and trying to rally their forces on the outside to move forward while looking at their pattern of relationships. If they can really do that, then they're seeing the changes that they can make regardless and modify their own behavior, whether that's moving closer to or further away, or making those changes for themselves that it couldn't have happened any other way. That's what they're learning. This is what it's time to learn. It's that class that they're in right now, so to speak. So what is the healing angel they can call upon to help them with this, that they need this new moon to full moon next? Full moon to new moon next. The angel of listening. Now, the angel of listening, I'm going to tell you right now, there's another mantra in this healing mantra deck. I don't have to choose sides. I just need to take a stand. And that's to take a stand for love, which is just to listen. Listening to somebody doesn't mean you agree with them, but it's actually expressing the welcome of the soul. The soul is always raw. It's respectful. It does respect. It does acknowledge, and it welcomes. Right. So just to welcome somebody in your energy field, even if at a distance. In other words, what you're learning here might very well be, no matter what it is they're saying, they're playing out a role. This couldn't be any other way. So instead of me wanting it to change right in this moment, which is okay to want it to change, but if I have a knot in my stomach, how about I just honor that there's a soul in there somewhere, that's somebody's child, that's somebody's friend, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's mother, that's somebody, on and on and on. Another soul in a body, right? It takes practice for sure, but this couldn't have happened any other way. This is happening for me, not to me. And that's from Course in Miracles, right? This world is not happening to you, it's happening for you, right? But seeing that is really hard, but certainly couldn't have happened any other way. Falls in line with that rather seamlessly. So what is listening then? Not just listening, being that space to hear somebody, because then sometimes you can say, oh, they're in excruciating pain, and it explains what they're saying, but you're being loving in that moment. But it also says your prayers are being heard. All right, that's the other part of this. If you're freaked out, what I think a lot of people are freaked out about, then know that your prayers are being heard, but also you need to listen to the guidance. And I do think, yes, you've been shook. And so the balance of motivation to inspiration might be more on the dark horse side, right? Wanting to burn the place down. But you have your doubts about that, so slow it down. Listen, you will take action. You will move forward. I mean, we've got two very strong movement cards here. Movement on the inner, movement on the outer. Sagittarius is mutable fire, changing fire, like a wildfire. I get it. A quiver full of flaming arrows waiting to be shot here. but to really listen, and as if I would really recommend taking this mantra, working it, because the more that you can do that, the more they're going to give you. The angel of listening is going to say, here's a little piece, here's another little piece, here's another little piece, and you'll start seeing that this couldn't have happened any other way. Let's put up the big picture. Nice deep breath. Magic clap. We have the networker archetype here on the table. The shadow conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. The light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So, I mean, really, I said it before, it's like the shadow side is the narcissist. The light side is the empath. I mean, it's practically written on the card. But that might be true of all archetypes, ultimately. Therefore, we have access to the entire spectrum. But with the card of Growing Beyond Guilt, the mantra, right? It couldn't have happened any other way. That's going to soothe you. That's going to allow you to play the game down here with less attachment to outcome as well as less attachment to the past. It takes the burden off your shoulders of having to control something that you can't control anyway, for sure. Because inside of you, you got the Five of Pentacles. You're shook. The earthquake. Maybe that is feeling left out in the cold. You see that all the time on YouTube. Five of Pentacles left out in the cold because people are wandering outside the church window. But it does mean physical change. Fives are numbers of change. Pentacles numbers of earth. So this is maybe something that really shook you to your core, whether it's societally, personally, within your health. But it is certainly challenging you with the Chariot on the outside of how to balance, how do I move forward with this? Well, listen to the fear of what's motivating you and then try and find the love in this alchemical process to inspire you that this is all happening for you, not to you, right? I would say that inspiration would come from that angel card of calling upon the angel of listening. I call upon the angels of listening. What would they do? Help me hear. They would help me hear the truth. They would help me hear beyond what is being said, and maybe even hear the guidance and grace while I'm so shook up on the inside that I need to navigate through this as the Chariot, right? Despite my doubts, which are like clouds on the horizon, you can't see what's coming. Who can right now, right? So, of course, to look at your patterns in relationships. Look, I have some things about the government that does mirror some things in my family, and I'm not going into it now, but certainly I can look at my familial relationships. I can look at my romantic relationships. I can look at any number of relationships in different forms and see certain patterns, certain archetypes that rise up within me, and certain archetypes that I seem to be drawn to in soul contracts, twin flame, soulmate, etc. So there's a real piece of learning and wisdom here for you so that you can really alchemize the lead to gold, not just from the shadow attribute to the light attribute of the networker, but from that guilt to innocence, getting that it couldn't have happened any other way, so no need to be holding on to people who may not know that yet, but no need to be punishing myself for what someone else has done as well. Oh, and I get that, because the punishment is what you would do to yourself mentally, emotionally, because you can't change what someone else has done. Go through your process, but it doesn't have to be brutalizing on yourself. Look at your pattern in relationships. You're getting an opportunity to do something different this time. Well, who was expecting that? Right? That's the thing. The cards hit the table as they hit the table. And like I said, these reads this time has been spiritual counseling and 7-card draw. It's been very, very cool to see. And so let me give you the blessing. May the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, that they may come into balance, right? That they may arrive at that new moon in Libra with a balanced network or archetype, either in their lives and themselves or dealing with it in the world, as they get that it couldn't happen any other way, despite their doubts and feeling shook and trying to balance and bring forward the motivation and the inspiration to move forward, looking at their pattern in relationships, listening to others without necessarily agreeing, giving them that love, that space, that balance that allows them to hear their own guidance and grace more clearly past the clouds of the doubt within, for their well-being, the well-being of everyone they know, and the well-being of all sentient beings on planet Earth and beyond. So motivate. And so it is. Ooh, what a wordy fucking prayer. I'll just take over. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new. And even if you're not, I want to hear how this resonates for you. And I'm making the habit now of posting the playlists on my social media stuff at the end of it, so that you can look back and go, oh yeah, ooh, now I know what that means. Or you could just save this to your watch later and watch it in 2 weeks or whenever you are watching this. Cool. Thank you all so very much. Wishing you the very best in the very blessed full moon. Hail. Farewell, and blessed be.